NCAA is eliminating the letter of intent,
Yeah.
and you have an update on that.
No, I mean, I actually very briefly saw a report before I had to run to practice, so I didn't even really see that. But I haven't read too much into it. But it sounds like they're going to do financial aid agreements,
Yeah,
and what was the other thing they said? Basically, financial aid agreements instead. Um,
I think
so
they're
I,
going to be NCAA will be removing the national letter of intent NLI program,
yeah,
and I think they're going to be moving to the NIL program. But the
right.
council approved the transition of the national letter of intent program into NCAA signing and recruiting rules effective immediately. The NLI program has been the binding agreement between student athletes and institutions for the last 60 years. That's what I signed. But the D1 Council is
Mhm.
transitioning away from it due to the pending changes coming from the NCAA House settlement that is expected to take effect next year.
Yeah. So
Mm.
basically, I mean,
I think they're going to set it up so the schools can pay these students. They say in the House settlement will allow schools to pay students, athletes, 20 to 23 million annually, which has led the NCAA to rethink its amateurism rules.
yeah, and obviously the national letter of intent is, as you know, because you sign one. I mean, it binds you to that school, right?
Yeah,
As soon
yeah,
as you sign it, if you want to not go to that school, you have to be let out of that agreement.
yeah.
And sometimes we see that, sometimes we don't. So this eliminates that. Hey, we could start seeing contracts here, as opposed to national letters of intent. I'm just glad that there's no longer going to be NLI and NIL. So let's just stick with NIL at this point.
Yeah.
And so,
And
um,
just go ahead and do what we know is coming,
yeah,
the inevitable. Just do it, man. This is pay for play. This is college football. Things have changed. Like
yeah,
back to quote the notorious BIG, things done changed. And I mean
right.
that in a way that we're gonna see teams like I think personally, we're gonna see teams like shout out to my alma mater, UAB, now have chances, against. I'm not saying we didn't have a chance in the past, but it's going to be a more evenly
Yeah,
matchup. Some of those big guys you see on the sidelines at Bama or Florida State that's on the sideline for 3 years, never playing. They just want to wear the helmet and the logo.
yeah,
Now hey man, you can come get paid and play at these schools. You'll be
right.
crazy not to consider it.
Well, and isn't it interesting all the changes that are happening in a very short period of time, and even little subtle things that I'm noticing. Like last week, we talked to Robert Livingston, and he's talking about the other team making plays, and he goes, these guys are paid too. And you're
Yeah,
like, huh? That's what they
yeah.
say in the NFL. Like, oh, I guess that's true now. Yeah, I mean, that you say that now in college, and I think it was Chidozi that said the same type of thing yesterday in the press conference about now that we're paid or something like that. It was like
Mm,
it's still weird to like hear that, like, yeah,
yeah,
you're paid. I guess I
yeah.
guess we've always known that there's certain guys that are getting paid, but you don't
Right,
yeah,
exactly,
they're
and
not really getting paid. Now it's
that's
like,
the
hey,
crazy thing.
we're getting paid.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I witnessed back in the day, and we laughed about it when I did an interview with him. I witnessed back in the day three of my teammates jump on a private jet to go to a R&B concert, and was able to get back by the next morning for practice and stuff. And I was like, damn, how did that happen? Well, it was an agent and who had connections with such and
Yeah,
such, and it was just a don't tell nobody type deal. And I'm like,
right.
damn, I ought to tell on y'all because I didn't get to go. I ought to snitch.
And now it's just openly like, oh yeah, we're getting paid.
It's wide open now.
Yeah,
So, you see guys like Reggie Bush and Vince Young and all these huge athletes starting to file suit against the schools because of the money that they made off of them back in those times.
yeah,
I'm not sure whether it's going to open Pandora's box. I'm not sure if it's going to be for a guy like me. What they owe me, what $72 that they profited off me. Am I going to go? But there's some guys who really the school really made a profit off of, like a Reggie Bush and stuff. And I think
yeah,
all that stuff is going to be back paid. But you know,
yeah. It
we
it's crazy, isn't it? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if we're at the point where soon where I'm gonna have to report on so and so, Juju, Juju Lewis
Sign
signs a 3-year contract with the Colorado Buffaloes, you know,
right
and
with
after
this
three
amount
years,
signing bonus.
right,
Like
with a player option for a 4th year.
I'm too many years too late right now. Dang.
Yeah.
So
So
hey,
I don't know if we're going to see that or not, but
well, that's some things to keep an eye on. Big college football weekend coming up this weekend with K State coming to Colorado, but a bunch of them going around on college football. But I think this one right here, as usual, will be one of the top two most watched
yeah.
on television, which is why the Buffs are heading towards their seventh in a row to start the season to be on national television because the Arizona game just got picked up also. So, hey, I think I'll see you at that game. You'll be in Arizona, right?
Yep. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be in
Okay.
Arizona, and then I'll be for the Cincinnati game. I decided to stay for the K State game because so much stuff going on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call this one from home, and and be ready for the next one. So,
Awesome.
hey, everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all tune in on the Bleacher Report. Make sure y'all download the Bleacher Report app right now. That way you can interact and engage with our show live. We're going to continue this throughout the season. Bring you your midweek Colorado Buffaloes live with Brian and Big Dog and